नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आज मी तुमच्यासमोर परत एकदा कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटमधील कंपनी फायनल अकाउंट हा टॉपिक घेऊन आलो आहे. या टॉपिकमध्ये आपल्याला रिवाइज शेड्यूल 6/2013 दे अमेंडमेंटमुळे जे काही चेंजेस झालेले आहेत ते आपल्याला या टॉपिकमध्ये आपण 1 बाय 1 त्या ठिकाणी अभ्यास करणार आहोत. नेक्स्ट दिस टॉपिक्स नेम ऑफ द कंपनी फायनल अकाउंट. आय एम प्रोफेसर प्रवीण आहेर. इंट्रोड्यूस ऑन एव्हरी कंपनी लाईक्स the business entire must the prepare final accounts or final statements productly. However, the unique in case of companies that the preparation of final accounts or final statements in government by legislation, companies must be prepared final statement in the forms prescribed in the Companies Act. First into income statement. An income statement is the prepared to ascertain the result of the business, that is profit made or loss incurred for a given accounting period. या अकाउंटिंग पिरियडमध्ये आपल्याला किती नफा झाला आहे, किती तोटा झाला आहे, याबद्दलचं जे काही स्टेटमेंट्समध्ये आपल्याला नोट करायचे ते या इन्कम स्टेटमेंट्समध्ये आपण घेऊया. नेक्स्ट income statement for the year ending. Particulars, the notes, that is net sales revenue less cost of goods sold, gross profit, operating expenses, EBITDA, depreciation and amortization, EBIT less interest on borrowing, add non-operating incomes and gains less non-operating expenses. Reverting earning, opening balance of profit and loss account and closing balance of profit and loss account. Opening stock, add purchase less closing stock, raw material consumed during the year, add conversion expenses, that is wages, factory overhead, etc. Add opening stock of work in progress less closing stock of work in progress, cost of production. Add opening stock of finished goods less closing stock of finished goods, cost of sold goods. Particulars, administration expenses, that is rent, rate and taxes. Second, salaries, general expenses, audit fees, director fees, selling and distribution expenses, traveling expenses, carriage outward, advertisement, discount allowed, warehouse charges, sales commission, bad debts. Add new reserves for doubtful debts, less old reserves for doubtful debts, other expenses, less operating income and gains and cash operating expenses or loss net. Next, interest on borrowing, interest on mortgage loan, interest on debenture paid. Add outstanding interest on debenture, that is the total amount of interest on borrowing. Note number 4, dividends and appreciation, dividend paid, interim dividend paid, proposed dividend paid, corporate dividend tax, transfer to general reserve, transfer to reserve fund, transfer to sinking fund, transfer to other reserve, and that is the total amount of note number 4, dividend and appreciations. Note number next, terms of income statements. Revenues, that is कोणत्याही प्रकारच्या व्यवसायामध्ये इन्कमचं सोर्स म्हणजे रेव्हेन्यू आहेत आणि रेव्हेन्यू कसे असतात तर दॅट इज द रेव्हेन्यू इज इक्वल टू सेल्स फॉर द इयर लेस सेल्स रिटर्न्स लेस एक्साइज ड्युटी. Second one, cost of goods sold. In case of trading entires, the cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock of the finished goods plus purchase during the year less closing stock of the finished goods. And B, in case the manufacturers entitled, the cost of goods sold is equal to raw material consumed plus conversion cost. 3, gross profit, the profit generated from the main activity of the trading or manufacturing by the company. Fourth, Operating expenses include all expenses incurred for operating the business. EBITDA means refer to earning before interest taxable, that is earning before interest taxable, depreciation and amortization. Next, depreciation the refers to revisions for replacement of fixed asset. फिक्स ॲसेटच्या रिप्लेसमेंटमुळे जे काही डेप्रिशिएशन झाले ते त्याच्यामध्ये. ॲमोर्टेशन द रेफर टू रिटर्न ऑफ द सिक कॉस्ट, deferred revenue expenses and intangible assets which need not be replaced. EBIT means what? The refer of earning before interest and tax and interest on borrowing. The refer to interest on loan borrowing by the company. Non-operating incomes, including the incomes from investment bank interests which are not generated from the operating activities for the company. EBIT refer the earning before taxes, refer to the income tax. 8. Earning after tax. Dividends refer to share of profit distributed of the company, it is shareholders. And retained earning, the refer to the profit of the year retained in the business. Balance sheet. A balance sheet is a statement of source and applications of funds. The balance sheet presents the source of which the company has mobilized fund required to business and utilize of the funds. Balance sheet. Share capital, note number 5. Reserve and surplus, note number 6. Non-recurring liabilities, secured loan 7, unsecured loan 8, current liabilities and total of the equity and liabilities. Asset, non-current asset, note number 10. Fixed asset. Investment, note number 11. Other non-current asset, note number 12. And the current asset, loans and advance, note number 13. All the balance of the notes, total is equal to assets. Note number 5. Share capital, the authorized capital, issue of capital, subscribed capital, called up capital less calls in arrear, add shares for forfeiture, paid up capitals, calls in advance. The total share capital is the amount of the note number 5 share capital transfer to profit balance sheet. Note number 6. Reserve and surplus, the capital reserve, general reserve, reserve fund, sinking funds, securities premium, other reserves, profit and losses, surplus जी अमाऊंट आहे ती याच्यामध्ये घ्यायची आहेत. द टोटल अमाऊंट ऑफ रिझर्व अँड सरप्लस द नोटेड इन बॅलन्स शीट, नोट नंबर 6. Note number 7. Secured loans, mortgage loans, debentures, add outstanding interest on debentures and the total amount of secured loan. Unsecured loan, bank loan, loans from subsidiary companies and fixed deposit from public, the total amount of unsecured loan. Next, current liabilities and provisions, sundry creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, unclaimed dividend, outstanding expenses, income received in advance, provision for tax, proposed dividend and corporate dividend tax. All the current liabilities is the amount of the total amount of the current liabilities and provision transferred to balance sheet, note number 9. Note number 10. Fixed asset, फिक्स ॲसेट त्यामध्ये घ्यायचे इंटायल व्हॅल्यू, लँड, बिल्डिंग, प्लांट, फर्निचर, व्हेकल, अदर ॲसेट टोटल. डेप्रिशिएशन चार्ज लेस करायचे आहे त्यामध्ये आणि त्यातून जी अमाऊंट येणार आहे ती आपल्याला नोट नंबर 10मध्ये ट्रान्सफर करावी लागते. नोट नंबर 11. इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन गव्हर्नमेंट सिक्युरिटीज, इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन अप्रूव्ड सिक्युरिटीज, इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन शेअर्स, इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन डिबेंचर्स अँड अदर्स. द टोटल amount of transfer to balance sheet. Uh, Note number 12, other non-current assets, this miscellaneous expenses, that is preliminary expenses, less write-off, underwriting commission, discount on issue of shares and debentures, profit and loss account debit balance, and total amount transfer to note number 12. Note number 13, current assets, loans and advance, cash in hand, cash at bank, sundry debtors, bills receivable, inventory, outstanding incomes, prepaid expenses, tax deduction at source, loose tools, advances, the total amount of the current assets, loans and advance transfer to note number 13 balance sheet. Terms of balance sheet, एक फर्स्ट आहे त्यामध्ये ॲथोराइज कॅपिटल, इश्यू ऑफ कॅपिटल, सबस्क्राइज कॅपिटल, कॉल्ड अप कॅपिटल, पेड अप कॅपिटल, reserve and surplus, the refer to the profit, set asset for the meeting specific feature requirement of any features, contingents, secured loan, unsecured loan, fixed asset, investment, current assets, the details discussed on the format, loans in advance, current liabilities, provisions, miscellaneous expenses and losses. This topic to introduce and for you the final account of the company. या टॉपिकमध्ये आपण कंपनी फायनल अकाउंट म्हणजे काय हे शिकलो. त्याच्या एंट्रीज कशा करायच्या आहेत प्रॉफिट और लॉस स्टेटमेंटमध्ये आणि बॅलन्स शीटमध्ये, याचा आपण या ठिकाणी अभ्यास केलेला आहे. नक्कीच तुम्हाला याचा फायदा होणार आहे. थँक्यू.